Have you ever thought about the psychology and the emotional aspect that revolves around red lipstick? The historical context of what red lipstick means to us in society has shaped our viewpoint of how red lipstick looks on us and how it looks on others, and how red lipstick can be a signal. It could be a confidence boost. It could be something that has so much deeper meaning than just putting on a shade of lipstick. One of my favorite things to do is delve into topics and things that we love, that is a part of our signature style, and really think about, why do we love these things? What is the emotional aspect that goes along with it? What is the psychology behind it? And is there something neurologically going on in our brain that have to do with some of the things that we love and find aesthetically pleasing? My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, hi, and if you're not, welcome back. Just a disclaimer, I am not a neuroscientist, I'm not a doctor, I am not someone who is in the field of studies of psychology. Consider this video like talking to a friend about an interesting topic, or just a food for thought to think about on your next conversation with a friend. So prior to me scripting my videos, I like to go on YouTube posts or my Instagram stories and hold a poll and asking you guys all, what is your opinion on certain things? And I asked, what is your association with red lipstick? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like wearing it? And it was interesting that within the many answers that I got, there are so many reasons why people like red lipstick on themselves or they prefer it on others. Red lipstick has so many associations. In the studies that I've read, in the polls that I've held, red lipstick has known to have an association with power, confidence, boldness, rebellion, sensuality, vampirism, being the femme fatale. I also got some comments saying that they don't wear red lipstick because it's too granny. I've also seen several comments saying that red lipstick makes them feel more romantic. It has a strong association with old Hollywood, feeling classy, and being timeless. Now, I don't consider my channel a history channel. I feel like when it comes to the history of red lipstick, it goes so deep, and there is so much to cover about the history of the creation of red lipstick, how far back it goes, and what it means across different cultures. So do not consider this a history lesson. That is something that you can delve into on your own. However, I am going to weave some historical findings into how that goes into the psychology and emotional aspect of what red lipstick means to us, and how it can shape your own personal style. So when it comes to the idea of red lipstick meaning power, whenever you wear it, it draws an attention to the lips, and oftentimes, historically, with the attention to the mouth, this is oftentimes an aspect that is thought about in royalty, elites in society, and it dates way back to ancient civilizations. So red lipstick has a very rich history and has shown that there has been a pattern across ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and ancient Iranian civilizations that red lips have been reserved for the elite, the royalty, or any high-ranking individuals. It was even said that Queen Cleopatra favored carmine pigments, red stone, for her lip paint, and this continued in the tradition of high-quality red pigments across, when being associated with power and being in favor of the gods and different deities. In this article by Ana Redondo, she found that red lipstick, archaeologists have found that red lipstick was oftentimes used to honor different goddesses, such as the goddess of fertility, and that the bright red color was used as a show of power and strength. There also has been strong suggestions that there has been a pattern of specialized red pigments across different cities in southern Eurasia. And the photo that I have here actually shows, is from the Smithsonian magazine, and it shows one of the oldest lipstick tubes to be found in Iran. Red lipstick also has an association with much more spiritual means, which we do see in ancient Mesopotamia and Sumerian cultures. It was worn by both men and women, and when wearing red lipstick, it made the individual feel a more divine connection to the deities that they worshipped. So whenever it comes to wearing red lipstick, it wasn't just something for you to wear, but to create a connection. And that is something that I feel like we still kind of see today, not necessarily of wearing red lipstick as a connection to a higher power, but wearing red lipstick as a signal in general. Whenever you wear red lipstick or you are wearing anything of any sort, it is a signal to other people of where you stand. Wearing red lipstick can be a signal of, I know this will draw attention to me and I'm okay with that. Or it can be a signal of, I feel empowered, I am in power. Or even wearing red lipstick can be a signal to other people of, I'm putting this extra effort in. Even though, for example, I don't consider red lipstick an extra effort because it is something that has become part of my daily routine to the point where it feels almost second skin. It's so fascinating how red lipstick has gone through so many different waves of it having a positive association, such as what we've seen in ancient civilizations where it was reserved for those in power and it was reserved for those of royalty, and there was so much proof that a lot of these high-ranking individuals would even be buried with red lipstick. But I have found that this has come and go in trends and waves, and different royalty across the world has shaped what red lipstick can mean on their side of the world and during different time periods. So during Queen Elizabeth's time, she was a fervent believer in red lipstick having the power to repel spirits, and she was famously adorned with red lipstick. And it was more so used as like a form of witchcraft, which was not in favor of the church at the time. And red lipstick actually surged in popularity during her reign. However, there was a lot of controversy because the church at the time saw that red lipstick was a form of witchcraft and a form of deceiving people. Queen Elizabeth was actually known for having a very well-documented ingredients list of what her red lipstick actually consisted of. There was fig milk, egg whites, cinnabar. But then over time, Queen Victoria denounced makeup as being impolite, and it was very well documented that she was not a fan of red lipstick, and it was in favor of the church's belief of makeup being insincere and a form of lying. And nowadays, when you think about what does red lipstick mean to you, what do you think of when you yourself wear red lipstick, and what is that emotion that comes out? Or how do you feel when you see someone wearing red lipstick? So I asked a mutual of mine who is a well-known makeup artist, I asked her thoughts on red lipstick. Why is she a fan of red lipstick? So she has stated that you probably already know about Victory Red and the war, but I've always loved red lipstick because it feels like armor. There's just something about classic red lip. For example, during World War II, Victory Red became a symbol of strength, resilience, reminding women they didn't have to give up their femininity. So when it comes to red lipstick being a form of armor, I find that even without knowing the historical context, the emotional aspect that red lipstick brings attention to not just your mouth, but you as a person, red lipstick draws the attention to you. It is such a bold and bright color, and it is an act of rebellion on its own. So it is fascinating though that red lipstick does have a historical facet that has to do with rebellion in general. It was even said that during World War II, Hitler hated red lipstick. It went against the Aryan beauty standard that he was fighting for. And red lipstick actually became a symbol amongst many activists, and it also symbolized women's suffrage across America as well as Britain. The meaningful aspect of red lipstick can also be associated with it being your entryway into adulthood. The fact that there are many families and across history and across cultures where makeup is reserved for those in their adult years. And actually in geisha culture, in Japan, The way red is applied on geisha is a direct signal of status and experience. So an apprentice, which is the maiko, might only have her lower lip painted red. But as she progresses to senior geisha, geiko, on the other hand, they would have both the lips painted, signifying her maturity and mastery of her art. So even as the apprentice geisha wears red lipstick only on one end and is graduated to the full lip, is almost like the symbolic aspect that we see red lipstick being attached to adulthood. There's also a biological aspect of our attraction to red, and this can also be the subconscious element of why we find red attractive and how it became associated with sensuality. So when it comes to red lipstick and its correlation to attractiveness, there's actually been a lot of scientific studies that have to do with why do people find red attractive. Now, when it came to these studies, there was a lot, so I don't think there's any way I can cover it all, but it is fascinating how in-depth they went with these studies. However, I will have a disclaimer that a lot of these studies had to do with a man's attraction to a woman and different red lipsticks that she wore. But what was fascinating was how in-depth they went into it. Like, they did these studies in different lightings. They did different shades of red, leaning more cool toned, more warm toned, and a red lipstick that was like considered like the neutral true red. And 30 minutes into these studies of me reading, I kind of forgot why I'm even making this video and how I want to focus more on the emotional aspect of red lipstick. But if you are interested in more of like the biological and neurological aspect of the different wavelengths and how certain people are more attracted to a true red versus a more orange red, those studies exist, and I'll put it here. They did conclude is that when it comes to red being deemed attractive, it has to do with, as many of these scientific studies have to do with, the reproduction and how it correlates to the health of someone and how you are attracted to someone with a healthier immune system, and red lipstick subconsciously lights up the brain that your body is healthy. So Frontiers in Neuroscience states that during ovulation, human females may experience reddened skin on their face or body due to increased blood flow and velocity, and that was their correlation as to why red lipstick was deemed attractive in these studies, because it indicated that the woman was quote-unquote healthy. Lip color can provide insight into an individual's health status. So in conclusion, a lot of these scientific studies state that the more red your lips are, the more healthy you are, I guess. Speaking of blood, let's talk about vampires and the association with red lipstick being deemed as a vampiric aesthetic and how it can have this strong association of having the vamp look, or if you want to go for the dark muse vampire, I've always recommended donning yourself with red lips for an immediate vampiric look. So the vampiric correlation with red lips starts off in vampire literature. In this thesis, The Significance of Colors in Bram Stoker's Dracula, it was noted that the color red and its association with it being a vampiric color was related to 69 times. Now you can pause and see the different examples of how red was correlated to the vampiric look, but a lot of the times the red had to do with, of course, blood, but also how the blood was dripping on the lips or how the red was associated with lips in general. In a different article, it was noted that as we continue to see vampire media in society, when it comes to red, it was associated with this dichotomy of danger and sensuality. And this was backed up in Anne Rice's 1976 interview with the vampire. We cannot talk about the emotional aspect of red lipstick without talking about the lipstick lesbians' theory of the lipstick theory. The lipstick theory states that if you are wearing nothing on your face but red lipstick, your skin will look more even. You're drawing people's attention with the red lip. By the lipstick lesbians in an interview, that this idea of the lipstick theory actually came from Lisa Eldridge's book, Face Paint, where she states that red actually is the color that has the longest wavelength of any other color. So subconsciously, humans perceive red differently than other colors, ignoring wider details on your face like spots or texture. So going back to the idea of red lipstick being deemed as a rebellious act, an act of confidence, because you are drawing attention to the lips. It is drawing attention to the person talking. So thinking about how it draws attention to the lips, it is an interesting thing to think about how it would make you ignore everything else. Now, I unintentionally have been participating in the lipstick theory. So for those of you who don't know, I actually don't wear any eye makeup. I don't wear mascara, eyeliner, or eyeshadow because I have very sensitive and oily eyelids. So anytime I wear eye makeup, I actually tend to get eye infections. So I only have eyelash extensions just because it doesn't interact with the oils on my skin and it doesn't irritate my eyes versus other eye makeup. And I love makeup. I love how it looks. I love the act of using makeup as armor and how it makes you feel ready for the day. And it kind of does this subconscious pull out of you going from the sleep state to awake state and being more productive when you are more dressed up, and that includes makeup. So because I don't wear makeup anywhere else, I do focus on lipstick. And that's why I do favor red lipstick, because it makes me feel more pulled together. It makes me feel more curated in my style. But also, I have a strong association with red lipstick being something memorable to me and attached to my grandma, who was a very important person to me, but also its association with old Hollywood and vintage glamour. Again, repeating, the idea of why certain things are important to us all has to do with this game of association. Now, what red lipstick can mean to you can mean something completely different to someone else. To one person, red lipstick can be something vulgar and not classy, versus someone else, such as myself, I deem red lipstick as something very elegant, classy, and timeless. I have a strong association with red lipstick with my grandma. So my grandma passed away last year, and I remembered one of the fondest memories I have of her is she is the reason why I started wearing red lipstick to begin with. I always saw my grandma, who I considered a very fabulous woman, a no-nonsense kind of woman, and she always wore red lipstick. And even in her last months, when she was unable to have autonomy, my grandpa still put red lipstick on her. And in the words of my grandpa, him saying, she loves wear red lipstick, and no matter what, I'm going to put red lipstick on her. My first memory of her buying red lipstick, she used to, my grandparents lived next to my high school, which was in downtown Vegas. So my grandma and I were very close, and she would pick me up from high school. And yes, I started wearing lipstick kind of late in the game. I'm a late bloomer. And one day she picked me up from high school, and I asked her about her lipstick, and she drove me to Walgreens and bought me my first Revlon lipstick. I don't remember the color, but it was a deep shade of red. And that's when I started wearing red lipstick religiously. I always had a strong association with red lipstick being associated with old Hollywood glamour, such as what we see on Marilyn Monroe, Rita Hayworth, and most the golden age of Hollywood glamour. Oftentimes there was a saturated hue on their lips. And I know I'm not the only person who associates a bright saturated hue of red on the lips to be associated with 1940s and 1950s glamour. But red lipstick has had a place in different history and has also been deemed a signature style for different icons. So Marilyn Monroe was actually known for her red lipstick, and has oftentimes, you see so many videos trying to mimic the multidimensional red lips that she has been showcasing in her movies. But she's not the only one whose red lipstick is deemed their signature style. And that is something to think about when you are curating your own signature style, is You may have one aspect of you, but how does it make it unique to you? So studying the idea of signature style in general, I feel like signature style is almost solidified if your look can be illustrated as a cartoon or illustrated in a very simplified form and it is recognizable to be you. It could also be deemed a signature style if a product comes out and it is recognizable to be associated with you. Or just simply you have something that is repeatable, recognizable, whether it is a particular element or a motif unique to you. So red lip is not a signature style to just one person, as we can see in my many examples, and I'm sure many that you can name yourself. So Dita Von Teese is known for her red lips and black retro style hair and her beauty mark. And as we can see in her book, Your Beauty Mark, it is still recognizable. That is a Dita Von Teese illustration. Marilyn Monroe was known for her dimensional red lip, but she was also known for her blonde hair beauty mark, but also in the actions that she did. Her sultry voice and the way she carried herself can also be an extension of her signature style. Sade was known for her red lips, but also her braid, hoops, and her tailored outfits. Robert Smith was also known for his red lips, but also his signature hairstyle and the unique way he did his eyeliner. Jeanne Damas, who is a French influencer, model turned into entrepreneur, was known for blurring her red lips using her lipstick palette that is reminiscent of an eyeshadow palette. Thinking about how red lipstick is associated with being a form of armor, it makes you feel bold and confident without doing much, and it is pocket sized. There is a thing called the lipstick effect, and it actually has been theorized that whenever there is an uptick in trending of many people wearing red lipstick, it oftentimes correlates with an economic downturn. The lipstick effect suggests that during economic downturns, consumers prioritize small luxury items over big ticket purchases to maintain a sense of normalcy, such as red lipstick. But this idea of maintaining these little luxuries, I've also read is associated with an uptick in purchasing perfume as well. The lipstick effect indicates that even in challenging economic times, consumers seek ways to treat themselves within their financial constraints, which makes sense because when it comes to red lipstick, it spans across different price ranges, so it is an affordable luxury. I can end this video talking about my personal favorite red lipsticks that I have been currently wearing on rotation. Is Deranged by Black Moon Cosmetics, which is a red that I actually need to repurchase, as well as Elm Street, also by Black Moon Cosmetics, and that is the red lipstick that I was wearing around my Chicago video. The red that I have been wearing on a daily basis, which I call my neutral red, and it is my favorite brick red, is M166 by Mob Beauty. The red that I'm wearing in this video is by Rituel de Fille, and it is my favorite berry red. And whenever I want a red lip stain to assure that I will have red lips throughout the night, I wear Twilight Princess by Sushi Glow Cosmetics. If you watched this whole video, thank you so much. If these are the kinds of videos that you like, let me know in the comments. What else is a topic that you think would be interesting for me to delve into? If you liked any of the mood boards that I worked on, Patreon members get early access to seeing these mood boards prior to me uploading them. Patreon members also have access to a library of PDFs of my mood boards that I tend to showcase in my videos. I hope you have a great week, and until next time, bye.